Nusakut, good afternoon, welcome. Pleased to convene this meeting of the Inuit-Crown Partnership Committee. These are regular meetings 3 times a year between the Crown and Inuit leadership. We have joint priority areas and we have work plans, and we meet to discuss the progress that we are making towards our shared ambitions. We also meet to celebrate successes that we have done together and to imagine new work. Before I get into my content remarks, I would like to just acknowledge that Minister Dan Vandel has decided to not seek re-election, and so we wanted to take this opportunity from Inuit leadership to thank you for all of the work that you have done in your time as minister on our Inuit issues, and we appreciate your leadership and your dedication to your files.
And you can still change your mind. You still have time. 4 more years.
We also want to take this time to acknowledge and appreciate Aluki Kutil. She is the president of Nunavut Tungavik Incorporated, and she also has not chosen to seek re-election. The next elections in Nunavut are in December. So we have Paul Ingout here, of the vice president, who will take her stead. But just to say that for 8 years, President Kutil has been a strong champion for the Inuit of Nunavut, and also here at this national table and international tables, a strong advocate and leader for Inuit across the circumpolar Arctic. Apologize for the feedback. Today we are going to discuss a number of major issues, and first and foremost, the Inuit Nunangat policy. Hopefully we are going to land on wording that we will put forward to the Government of Canada's Cabinet to ensure that there's a Cabinet directive on the implementation of the Inuit Nunangat policy, which was approved by the Prime Minister to apply to government in April of 2022. We also are going to be working on the creation of a K-12 Inuit education policy. That work is ongoing, but one that will be instrumental in improving the outcomes for Inuit children across Inuit Nunangat in their health outcomes. We look forward to conversations about the Arctic foreign policy development with Minister Jolie. Inuit have co-developed this draft policy with the government over the past 9 months, and it takes this respect with Inuit partners to do this work in our homeland. Inuit Nunangat comprises 42% of Canada's coastline, or 42% of Canada's landmass, 75% of Canada's coastline, and we either own outright that space or we co-manage that space with the Government of Canada and provinces and territories through the implementation of our modern treaties. I'm not sure that Canadians fully understand the outsized role that Canada plays, not only in the administration and the safeguarding of Canada's Arctic, but also the absolute requirement of Canadian Inuit support for Canada's sovereignty and defense and militarization purposes within our homeland. We have many other things to discuss. As always, we are very thankful for the opportunity to be here in a collaborative working space with the Crown. And with that, I'll pass the remarks over to my co-chair, Minister Gary Anandasangaree.
Thank you, President Obed. Unusakut, good afternoon and bon après-midi. Let me just begin by acknowledging that we're gathered on the traditional unceded lands of the Algonquin and Anishinaabeg people. And I want to acknowledge that yesterday was International Inuit Day, and today is Indigenous Veterans Day, so I want to honor those who sacrificed for this land, particularly Inuit veterans, for their enormous contribution. Before I deliver my formal remarks, I want to acknowledge the loss of a young man, loss of life of a young man in Nunavik. He died at the hands of police. It's an incident that has wounded his community and the country. My thoughts are with his family and, of course, his brother, who is still struggling to recover. And I want to echo President Natami's comments on the need for real reform and to strengthen relationships between police and communities. I know, President Natami, your community is in mourning, and I want to extend our thoughts to them. I do also want to acknowledge both Minister Vandal as well as President Koterek. Dan, thank you for your friendship and partnership. We share the portfolio, and you've been a remarkable leader. I know President Koterek's not here today, and I want to acknowledge Vice President Engot for being here. But President Koterek and I have had a very strong relationship for the last 9 years in my role as an MP, previously to becoming a minister, and she's someone that has pushed this government to ensure that issues around language, issues around reconciliation are front and center. And we often joke that, whether on reconciliation, whether the glass is half full or half empty, is something that we've been joking about now for the last couple of years, and really it's a reflection that the work that we've done is filling that glass with more and more water, and it's to ensure that we never forget the work that lies ahead. So I'm very grateful for everything that she's done, and I want to acknowledge her today. I know she's not here today. She's taking some needed time, but I do look forward to the contributions that she will make, not just to the Inuit, but to Canada and the world as well. Let me thank everyone that's here today. Good to see you again at another Inuit-Crown Partnership. I want to, of course, welcome, I think, our newest member who was interim the last time we were here. So I want to acknowledge. I know it's Nancy, but I'm looking at the last name. I'm sorry. I'm trying to get the pronunciation of your last name. So no, Ituk. So Nancy, who was interim president last time, and she's here as a permanent member representing Patuitik. So thank you, Nancy. I'm also joined by my colleagues, Mr. Varani, Bill Blair, Mr. Patty Haidu, Mr. Jolie. They will all be here shortly. And Madame Leclier. I'm having a bad day today, guys. I'm sorry. I know it's a Friday afternoon. Let me just say how important the Inuit-Crown Partnership Committee is. We have been able to make significant strides on a range of issues over the past several years. And I'm particularly happy with the work that we have done since 2017 when the Inuit-Nunavut Declaration was made. The meeting today continues to build on the enormous strides that we've made over the years, and I'm particularly pleased that we will be having a discussion on the cabinet directive that I know many of you have been advocating for the last 7 years or so. It will be transformational, and I know enormous amount of work has gone into getting us to this point. While not perfect, I think it builds on much of the conversations that we've had around the table to ensure that we have a government, whole of government approach towards this very important relationship. One that I know will, I believe, have a transformational impact in the long term. I'm also pleased to report that as part of the reconciliation efforts, later this month, I will be visiting Makivik to offer a formal apology for the tragic dog slaughter in Nunavik. And I look forward to being there with hopefully many of you here. I know, Peter, it's been a long term journey for you and for your people. And we're, I think, very close to offering a formal apology that I know, while it won't erase the past, will certainly give some solace to those remaining survivors as we try to reset and rebuild this very important relationship. With that, I think I have a lot more to say, but I will save that for later. But the final note, the work that all of you have done towards the establishment of the Commissioner of Modern Treaty Implementation, I think, is very important. Bill C-77 was tabled, and hopefully it will be debated over the next several months, and ideally we will have that passed in this Parliament. It is a very important tool to ensure that there's accountability between in the work that the government does as a whole, and to ensure that the treaties and agreements we have are held to account. So with that, I'll turn it back to Natan so that we can continue and commence this meeting.
Just a thank you to the media that have taken the time to be here with us today. I appreciate your presence. We'll now commence with our scheduled meeting.